I believe I am Charles and Camilla's son. Well, it's possible. I mean, I've entered into all this with the possibility that I could be wrong. Yeah, I've thought about that and how am I going to look in front of the world with egg all over my face that I'm wrong. But
Out of the blue, a shocking turn of events has royal fans gasping. The royal family is shocked when a man says he is the secret son of King Charles and Camilla.
the belief started in 1994. Really, we started looking at who my parents were when my first son Simon was born. And I said to my wife, he had blue eyes, and my wife said, well, where did the blue eyes come from? And I said, well, I had blue eyes. And she said, oh, you didn't tell me that before.
But is it really true? As his claim sends shockwaves through the palace, one question stays. How will the royal family react to such shocking news? Something royal has to happen, and it has to happen soon. Meet the man behind the claim. While living in a royal family, secrets often come to the surface, and sometimes they do so in the strangest ways. This past week, a man named Sam made a bold claim. He says he is the son of King Charles and Camilla. That claim isn't just a guess. It could change everything we thought we knew about the royal family. Who is Sam then? And what does he mean by this? Sam isn't like most guys. People are interested in and curious about his story. He talks about how he felt different as he grew up, like he didn't quite fit in with his life. Some kids learn to play sports or music as they grow up, but Sam felt like he was meant to do something bigger. He has always been interested in the royal family and dreamed of castles, crowns, and being a prince. As he learned more about his past, he became more and more sure that he was related to the monarchy. It is important to remember the time when Sam chose to become famous. Why did he choose to tell everyone his story? There might have been a bit of bravery mixed in with the curiosity and the need to find out who they were. He wanted to share what he thought was a secret truth about himself that would connect with other people who feel like they don't belong. A lot of people are confused by what Sam said. Is he being honest? Could he really be the royal puzzle piece that's been missing? Some people are excited about the idea, but others are still not sure. No matter where you stand, Sam's story is interesting and makes people think about who they are and where they belong. It makes you wonder what it would be like to find out that you are related to royalty. To understand why Sam made such a bold claim, you need to know how he grew up. He went to school, made friends, and had family dinners in a small town where he grew up. But he had a bad feeling about something. There were times when other kids talked about family traditions, but Sam often daydreamed about big events and royal ceremonies. As he thought and acted, this longing was always there in the background. His family was a big part of what made him who he is. They talked about history, traditions, and stories. But there were also rumors and whispers about Sam's family tree that left him with more questions than answers. He might have thought that he was meant for something bigger and more important than normal. He may have looked into his family history more because he was always trying to fit in. As Sam aged, he became more interested in new things. He began to look into his family history by reading genealogies and ancestry records in search of clues that could lead him to the royal family. This study turned into a quest, not just a hobby. As he put together pieces of information that pointed to a more interesting family tree, he could feel the thrill of discovery. When he finally decided to tell everyone, he was feeling both excited and the need to be accepted. He thought it was time to say what he thought was true. Making this claim was a way for him to accept who he was, even if it meant other people would doubt and skepticism. It's like opening a treasure chest full of mysteries when you look into Sam's family history. Some interesting connections he found made him rethink his family history. His journey led him down a winding path full of family trees, historical records, and even some crazy ideas. Finding relatives with ties to famous people in history was one of the most interesting parts of his research. He read stories that didn't make sense, but they made him want to learn more about his family history. Every new piece of information he learned made him feel like he was getting closer to a big discovery. As he looked further, he found links that seemed to connect him to the royal family. That must have been a thrilling experience. The dream of being a prince became more real with each new thing that was learned. But along with the excitement, there was doubt. Family trees have been criticized for being hard to understand and keep up. Someone can't claim to be royal just because they can show their ancestry. The beautiful thing about Sam's journey is that it shows how important it is to know where we came from. There is more to it than crowns and titles. We need to know where we fit in the world and how our stories connect us to the past. Everyone wants to feel like they belong and find out who they are, and Sam's search for family ties shows that. Understanding his background is crucial, but what does science say about his assertion? Let's go into the DNA details. The proof that what they say is true. DNA testing is like having a magic key that opens the doors to our family history when we want to find missing relatives. What if you could look inside your body and read all the amazing stories that are stored in your genes? People like DNA testing for many reasons, such as to find long-lost relatives or to find out more about who we really are. So what does DNA really mean? There is a unique code in every cell of our bodies that tells us about our traits, our ancestry, and even our health. DNA tells us who we are and where we come from, just like a recipe does for your favorite cake. People who want to get a DNA test usually send a small sample to a lab, which is often a cheek swab. Scientists look at the DNA there to find patterns that show how genes are related. This method can help find out if someone is related to a certain person or family, like how Sam is related to the royal family. Sam felt that getting a DNA test was an important way to back up his claim. He didn't just need a story, he also needed proof from science. The excitement of waiting for the results must have been huge. Would the test prove that he was related to the royal family? Or would it show something else? They must have felt like fireworks went off when the DNA results came in. The results caused a lot of excitement and surprise, and they led to arguments and discussions all over the place. Sam was excited to share the results, which showed some surprising ties to well-known ancestors. But now things get a little tricky. Different people have different ideas about how important the results are because they can be interpreted in different ways. Some people may have been happy with the results because they thought they proved royal ties, but others were not so sure. They said that DNA alone doesn't make someone a prince. So if Sam's DNA showed that he had royal ancestry, that might mean that his great-great-grandparents were part of the royal family. But that doesn't mean he automatically deserves to be called prince. There are many legal, historical, and social issues that go beyond genetic testing that make up the world of royalty. Also, these findings can have very important effects. If Sam were to be related to the royal family, it could change the way people think about royalty and bring up issues of legitimacy and heritage. What does it mean to be a member of the royal family? Is it just about bloodlines, or does it also have to do with duties and responsibilities? Genetics experts chimed in with their thoughts as the story went on. In the world of DNA, geneticists are like detectives who try to figure out how our genes work. They stressed how important it was to know the limits of DNA testing when trying to find family ties. One important thing that experts talk about a lot is how DNA can give us clues about our ancestry, but not all the answers. Family ties are complicated and are affected by many things besides genes, like upbringing, culture, and social ties. A genetic link does not automatically make someone royal. Also, experts said not to draw conclusions too quickly based on DNA results alone. They said that different people can have very different ideas about how to interpret data, and that making assumptions without doing a lot of research can lead to misunderstandings. In Sam's case, the results may point to some connections, but he would need more proof to fully back up his claim. Having experts in the conversation gives it more weight and encourages people to have a thoughtful conversation about heritage and identity. Their ideas make us all want to value the complexities of family ties and the stories we carry with us. The royal family's past. It's like reading an old, dusty book that's full of stories about great adventures, sad love stories, and, believe it or not, some pretty juicy scandals. The royal family has so many secrets that they could fill a library. There are stories of kings and queens who ruled empires and of forbidden romances. The drama and stakes are so high that it's almost like a soap opera that never ends. The biggest scandals in the history of the British royal family, King Edward VIII fell in love with Wallis Simpson, an American woman. Wallis was divorced, which made the royal family very nervous. This wasn't just any love story. Edward made a shocking choice in 1936. He picked love over the throne. He gave up being king, which means he abdicated, all for Wallis. This brave move shook the royal family and changed the course of royal history forever. Then there's the story of Princess Diana, whose life had both happy and sad times. While everyone loved her, there were secrets and fights going on behind the scenes. It was even harder for her because of how the media treated her, and when she died in 1997, everyone was shocked. The way the royal family talks to the public and the media today is still affected by Diana's legacy. There are real people with feelings, dreams, and problems behind the crowns and royal gowns. These stories remind us of that. Being a monarch isn't just about looking good, it's also about dealing with the difficulties of life, love, and public scrutiny. Every scandal and secret has helped shape the royal family and who they are today. Rumors can be annoying, like flies that buzz around. They spread quickly and can get really messy. There have been many rumors about the royal family that have hurt their reputations and caused people to talk about them. There were times when these whispers were just harmless fun, and times when they were very bad. One example is that in the 18s, Queen Victoria was said to have been a strict parent. Some people thought she was being too mean to her kids, which made people wonder about her family life. In this day and age of social media, these rumors could have gone viral and caused even more trouble. But back then, it had a big enough effect on people to change how they thought about the royal family. Prince Charles and his marriage to Princess Diana is another well-known example. There were rumors in the tabloids that they were unhappy and cheating on each other while they were married. The rumors didn't just affect their private lives, they also changed how people saw the royal family. There were shockwaves through the monarchy when Charles and Diana broke up. This made the royal family rethink how they talk to the public. Rumors about the royal family show how they have to balance their private lives with what people expect of them. For years to come, the stories we tell about them can change how people see them. In reality, even royals can be spied on by the media, and they have to walk a fine line between what the public wants and what they want to keep private. There have been many interesting claims about who is related to royalty over the years. What if people came forward and said they were long-lost heirs to the throne? A lot of people find these stories interesting because they are full of adventure and mystery. Princess Anastasia, who is the daughter of Tsar Nicholas II of Russia, is a case that stands out. After the royal family died in a terrible accident, rumors spread that Anastasia had lived. Over the years, many women have said they were the princess, which has made people both excited and skeptical. Was she still alive? Did she get away? The world was fascinated by this mystery, which led to books, films, and a never-ending stream of theories. In the United States, for example, many people said they were related to John Adams, one of the founding fathers. Even though these claims were more about family pride than real royal ties, they show how people who want to connect with greatness can make up stories. With secrets revealed, it's time to uncover the buzz among royal fans and how this news has taken over social media. How people reacted: anger, shock, and guessing. People heard about Sam's big claim that he was the Prince of Hearts faster than a cheetah on roller skates. These days, social media is like a huge loudhailer that quickly spreads news to millions of people. As soon as the news came out, people were reacting all over Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, making Sam an overnight star. A lot of different emotions came out when people went online to share their thoughts. Some people were interested and excited to find out more about Sam and his story. They made posts, memes, and hashtags that were full of guesses. Others were skeptical, asking for proof that what he was saying was true. Hashtags like #PrinceSam were popular on many platforms as the argument went on. News outlets jumped right in to cover the drama as it happened. which made the conversation louder. It was a question that everyone had. Is he telling the truth? What does this mean for the royal family? The conversation got more and more exciting as more people joined. Everyone was amazed by this sudden turn in royal history, and Sam became the talk of the town. It was important for social media to shape public opinion, which made it a useful tool for both supporters and critics. It made an interesting story into a worldwide conversation and showed how technology can bring people together in strange ways. People's reactions to Sam's claim were all over the place. They were shocked, intrigued, and excited. Imagine scrolling through your feed and seeing what your friends have to say about this unbelievable story. Fans, doubters, and people who were just interested all joined the conversation. Many fans were thrilled and dreamed of what it would be like to have a new prince in town. They made fan pages with lots of ideas about Sam's royal family tree and thought about all the fun things that could happen if his claims were true. People told Sam stories about their favorite royal moments and drew comparisons between him and the real royal family. On the other hand, many people voiced doubt. They read articles and showed proof about how complicated royal lineage is and asked, how could this be true? They talked about whether DNA testing could give Sam the solid proof he needed to back up his claim. These conversations showed how interested people were in the story by showing the range of opinions. The great thing about this situation was that it made people talk about who they are, their families, and what it means to belong. Everyone felt like they had a stake in the story, whether they supported Sam or didn't believe what he said. People from all over the world came together to share this excitement, which went beyond borders and backgrounds. With all the talk about Sam's claim, there was still one thing that no one knew. How did the royal family react? When things like this happen, the monarchy usually keeps quiet and picks their words carefully. They chose not to make a big announcement or hold a press conference. Instead, they kept quiet and let the story develop without their involvement. The royal family usually doesn't say anything about rumors and speculation, so this is how they usually act. Their silence can say a lot because it lets them control the story and not get involved in every claim or controversy. But that silence can also make people more interested and lead to more guessing. Some people who keep an eye on the royal family thought that the family might be quietly looking into the claims to find out what Sam was saying. Some people thought they might just let the story go because they know that royal drama is always in the news. Many questions were left unanswered by the royal family's answer or lack of response. But it did show how carefully they have to balance the public interest with personal privacy. In a world where everyone watches everything, the monarchy stays mysterious. It reminds us all that the story of royalty is both true and mysterious. The implications of this claim. Then what would happen if Sam is telling the truth? There could be big changes in the royal family if he is really a long-lost prince. This new information could start a storm and make us question everything we thought we knew about who is a monarch. What if Sam turned out to be the real heir to the throne? That could mean he wants to be the center of attention and wants a title and all the benefits that come with it. The royal family would have to quickly figure out how to include him in their small, close-knit group. Are they going to greet him with open arms, or will they have doubts and questions about his claim? It would be a royal family reunion like no other, full of fun and maybe even some tension. This situation makes me wonder a lot about the history of the royal family. How would they explain the decisions and choices they've made in the past? What does the fact that Sam is related to their family tree mean for the stories they've told about it? People would be talking about this shocking turn of events and want to know how the royal family will handle it. There is a clear line of succession in the monarchy, and everyone knows their place in line for the throne. What if Sam is really a member of the family? This could make big changes to who is next in line. What a crazy game of musical chairs. Someone comes in out of the blue and changes everything. All of a sudden, other royal family members may need to rethink their positions and plans for the future. Let's talk about how this all changes how people see the royal family. A lot of people might have a new view of the monarchy if Sam's claim turns out to be true. Some fans may be excited and hope for a new part of royal history. Some people might be doubtful and want to know how the family has kept their secrets. people might start to wonder why the royal family didn't see Sam sooner. This could bring up questions about how open and honest the monarchy is. How can people believe what they say if they've been hiding a family member? There is a chance that some fans will feel betrayed, while others will rally behind Sam and help him get noticed. If royal news spreads quickly, there would be a lot of opinions on social media. No one would be able to hold back their thoughts and feelings about the shocking claim. The people would be watching the royal family very closely to see how they handle this sudden event. With potential changes in the royal line of succession, it's important to understand the traditional roles within the monarchy. The bigger picture, how the royal family works. In the royal family, tradition is like a strong tree with deep roots that hold everything together. These customs have been passed down through the generations and affect how the royal family acts and talks to each other. Tradition is a big part of their daily lives. It's in the way they celebrate holidays and the rules they follow. Think about a family get-together where everyone dresses the same or does the same things every time. All of these traditions are more than just fun for the royal family. They show that they are one and honor their history. For example, royal events like weddings and coronations are steeped in old customs that make people feel like they belong and are proud of their country. But what happens when a new family member shows up out of the blue like Sam? This could make their traditions very difficult to follow. Sam's claim might make things worse. He would have to follow all the same royal customs, right? What if he has different ideas about how to honor the family name or keep it alive? As the monarchy gets used to this new situation, they may have to choose which traditions to stick to and which ones to change. The royal family needs to find a balance between honoring the past and looking forward to the future in order to keep their image and relevance in a world that is changing quickly. The royal family doesn't just go to fancy balls and public events. They also have to deal with problems that come up in everyday life. The world we live in now puts everyone in the spotlight, including the royal family. A lot of pressure can come from social media, tabloids, and being watched all the time by the public. Think about being famous and having people from all over the world watch your every move. It's important for the royal family to tread carefully in these waters, trying to keep their honor while staying in touch with the public. If Sam's claim sticks, it could make the scrutiny they already face even worse. People are interested in how they react to this sudden turn of events and whether they get closer to him or stay away from him. These days, people also expect the royal family to be approachable and relatable. That's not enough. They need to show they understand how people live and the problems they face. This means changing how they look and maybe even how they talk to each other. Adding a new family member could either help them look more modern or make things even more difficult. When you look back at history, you can see that royal lineage and legitimacy have caused a lot of trouble. Think of all the times a new claim to the throne caused a stir, which could have led to changes in the balance of power or even fights for the crown. In this bigger story of royal history, questions about who belongs and who doesn't can change everything. This is how Sam's claim fits in. The royal family can better handle Sam's situation if they remember these lessons from the past. They can look at past disagreements to learn how to handle new claims without making a mess. There have been many fights and peace deals in history, and the royal family will need to look at these to help them decide what to do next. What happened next? What the claimant should do? What will happen next to Sam, the man who says he is a prince? He does need some time to think. To begin, he probably dreams about what his life might be like if what he says is true. Picture living in a palace, going to fancy events, and maybe even shaking hands with world leaders. But he needs to make a solid plan first. Sam might start by getting advice from professionals in his field, such as lawyers and public relations experts, who can help him with this royal adventure. They can help him figure out the best way to make his case to the public and the royal family. He could also tell his story to the media to get support from people who believe in him. In the end, if enough people support him, it might make his case stronger. Now let's talk about the hard part, going to court. You can't just say that you're royalty and be done with it. When it comes to royal titles and lineage, There are rules and laws. The royal family and other people who don't want Sam's claim to be taken seriously may try to stop him. Things could get very heated in court over this. He might need to show proof of his family tree through papers, DNA tests, or even the words of people who can back up his claim. It might take a long time, and things might go well and badly along the way. It's like a long, winding road with lots of bumps and turns. His journey might be hard, but if he has faith in himself and his story, he might make it to the end. What Sam really wants is to be known. It's likely that he dreams of the day when he will walk into a room and be welcomed like family. This search for approval might be the hardest part of his journey. The royal family will either welcome him or push him away. As Sam goes on this quest, he might decide to get in touch with royal historians or even family members who might understand his background. Each person he talks to and a piece of evidence he finds could help him reach his goal. He might even be able to write a touching message telling everyone why he thinks he belongs with them. Sam will have to be patient and strong during this journey. It will take time to become known in such a well-known family. But if he works hard and makes a good plan, he might be able to get into the royal circle. This would show that sometimes the most interesting stories are the ones that take time to play out. Effects on the royal family. Sam's recent claims that he's the son of King Charles III and Queen Camilla could really shake things up for the royal family's public image. The monarchy has always been seen as a symbol of stability, but these allegations could seriously chip away at that reputation. Trust in the royals relies on them being authentic and transparent, and any hint of scandal or hidden truths can really undermine that trust. If Sam's story picks up steam, the royal family might find themselves facing a lot of scrutiny, leading to rumors and gossip that could tarnish their name. These claims could also challenge King Charles III's legacy. As he works to modernize the monarchy and distance it from past controversies, dealing with a potential scandal like this could really set him back. The royal family has put a lot of effort into fixing their image after previous scandals, and the idea of a secret son could spark fresh debates about accountability and integrity. This not only puts the king's legacy at risk, but could also sway public support for the monarchy, especially among younger people who value transparency and authenticity. The stability of the monarchy could be on the line too. Claims like these can create rifts within royal circles and raise questions about who's legitimate and who isn't. If Sam were to be accepted as a legitimate heir, it could complicate the line of succession and create tension among family members and their supporters. The monarchy relies on clear succession plans, and any uncertainty could lead to political instability, especially in a constitutional monarchy like the UK, where the royals have a ceremonial yet significant role in governance and national identity. Finally, the fallout from this situation could reach beyond just the current royal family and impact future generations. As the public digests these claims, it might lead to a more critical view of the monarchy as a whole, affecting how future royals are seen. This underscores how important it is for the royal family to handle allegations openly and quickly to keep public confidence intact. In today's world, where social media spreads rumors like wildfire, the royals will need to tread carefully to protect their reputation and secure their standing in British society for years to come.